Hi there, it's Catherine Norland. I was just laying in bed trying to go to sleep, but the topic of shame just kept coming to me. I know a lot of you might be dealing with shame in your life, and it's been holding you prisoner for far too long. And I want to tell you, you can release that. You can let go of the shame that has held you back for years. You don't need to let it keep you locked up anymore. Shame can come from so many different places. It could be something as benign as feeling ashamed that you had to get cosmetic surgery because you had a fire accident or a car accident or cancer taken out of your nose or your face or your breasts or whatever it is, and you feel ashamed that you had to have that done. Shame can come from being a victim, maybe when you were younger, or maybe even when you weren't younger. Somebody took advantage of you. Somebody did things to you that you're afraid to even mention, to let out into the daylight. Maybe your shame comes from something you did yourself, bad decisions you've made, and you think it's so shameful. If anybody knew, they wouldn't want to be your friend anymore. You would be exposed. Something awful would happen to you. We build this up in our mind so big that we are literally choked by shame. You don't have to hold on to that anymore. You know, one way that our enemies try to keep us down is to constantly whisper in our ear. If you tell anyone that happened to you, they're going to think you're awful. They're going to think you're dirty. They're going to think you're whatever. Fill in the blank. I think we've all had some conversation in our head that the enemy has tried to tell us something awful is going to happen if we expose what's been done. Maybe when you were a child, an adult did something to you and they said, "You can't tell anyone, you're dirty, you brought this on yourself, you made me do this to you." Whatever it is, you know what it is. I'm sure something might be coming to mind right now where if you have a situation of shame in your life, you've got to let it go. And one of the only ways to let it go is to expose it to the light. You know, shame is something we keep hidden. It's something we keep in the dark corners of our mind, it's kind of like the skeleton in the closet, as they say. But once we open that closet door and we expose it to the light of God, the light of day, that shame, that secret can't hold its power over you anymore. It can't hold you hostage and hijack your life from you going out and doing the opportunities, you going out and dating somebody. Even if your shame has come from something completely heinous that you have done, that you feel like you could never be forgiven for. First of all, there is no sin under the sun that God won't forgive you for, no matter how awful it is of what you did. If you are sincere and you repent with all your heart and you turn the other way and you don't do that again, it can be forgiven. So before you let your enemy, the person that hurt you, or the devil keep you in bondage any longer, you let that out into the light. You tell somebody what happened. It's going to be super scary the first time because all the thoughts going through your head of worst case scenarios of what could happen if somebody finds out will play out. But you'll find the more you share and the more you let people know, the more you let the light in on that dark situation, the less it can hold its power over you anymore. Where you can stand up and say, "Yeah, that happened to me." Or, "Yeah, I did that. I regret it. I wish I never did." Or, "Yeah, I had to do this," or whatever it is. You get free. The more you share it, the more you get free. And I'm not saying you need to go broadcast your troubles everywhere. "Oh, woe is me, this happened to me." Because there are some people do that as an attention-seeking thing. But if you're in bondage, if you're locked up and you have been held hostage for far too long over being afraid of some shameful thing that's happened to you or that you've done or whatever the case is, I say you tell someone right now. Let it go. Approach someone. Have a difficult conversation. Tell your girlfriend, tell your boyfriend, tell your spouse, tell someone you trust. And let that burden be released off you. Let that massive rock come off your chest so you can breathe again. And just keep remembering, secrets cannot hold their power over you unless you keep them hidden. So let it out into the light. Thanks.